Welcome to Virtual Voices. My name is Jason Steffenhagen. I'm the Associate Minister at the Well, a United Methodist Church in Rosemont, Minnesota. And today I am joined by Natalie Olsen, who is the Worship Arts Director at the Well. And so, Natalie, we're recording this on Wednesday after Memorial Weekend. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jason. Thanks for inviting me to be here. Enjoyed a nice low-key Memorial Day weekend and things are good.
Great. And I know that you've been working hard in anticipation of your mom's 90th birthday. That's coming up, right?
It is. It's actually, her actual birthday is Tuesday, June 8th, but we are having a party for her on this coming Sunday. So I'll be going up there in a couple days to help lay all the final plans. There's cement being poured for a concrete patio yet this morning. So we're hoping that will be dry and ready for entertaining. It's going to be 90 some degrees on Sunday, so that might be an interesting twist, but we're excited.
Oh, that's really exciting. And I really hope that concrete sets and you guys are able to enjoy it. And I hope that there's some shade in some areas that you'll be in, because yeah, the 90 degrees is coming. Summer is going to just hit us like a steamboat. And so it's going to be quite the weekend coming up for you guys. I'm excited for you. So Natalie, tell us a little bit about your journey to the Well, and then what kind of has kept you busy at the Well.
Well, it's journey is a good word for it. I started actually back at the Well in, I think, 1988, 88 or 89. And I actually came to the Well because of Dawn Dibley. My husband, Steve, was teaching in Rosemont at the time, and I was looking for some employment, and she was a piano teacher in the area at the time. And so she was giving me some piano student referrals. And then I started with some students when we first moved here, and then they needed an accompanist for the chancel choir. And so that's how I first came to Rosemont United Methodist Church at the time, because they needed a piano player for the choir. So that's how I started. After a number of years, and I sometimes I wish I had kept better tracks so I could really tell people, but I didn't. But after a number of years, I took over the role of directing the choir and became the chancel choir director. And during that time, we had all kinds of kids choirs. And when my kids were young in the church, we had this great drama camp that we did for about 10 years in a row that I organized every summer. And we had up to 60 kids involved in that. And it was really great fun. We put on a full musical production in a week with an overnight and all kinds of stuff. It was really crazy, but it was fun. Lori Herman and a few other people volunteered with that with me. And so just over the years, many things have changed off and on. And then we decided to turn the position more into Director of Worship Arts. And there were a number of years where I was teaching less at school and more working at church. And then we kind of went back to chancel choir director for a while. And so it just keeps evolving. But I think since then, in this 30 plus years, there's only maybe 1 year in there that I wasn't on staff at the Well. So it's been a journey, and it's been a great experience, and just lots of different things through the music ministry that we've been able to do and offer, and lots of great people. And we've always just said the Well is so lucky to have so many talented musicians that we can call on that volunteer and give of their time.
Wow. Well, 30 years, and that is amazing. And I've only been a part of it for about 3 months now, but I hear so many stories, and they connect back to chancel choir, they connect back to the worship ministries. And so there's so many beautiful stories about people getting connected to the Well because of the work that you've been doing and been a part of for so long. And so thank you so much for the way that you've really loved on people and made that choir and those different, summer camps and the cantatas and everything, not just an event, but like a family affair. And so I think everything I hear about those has been, they're so meaningful and personal, and everyone feels so attached to them. And that's just probably a really hallmark of what you've cultivated as far as an environment for ministry. And so, Natalie, wonderful.
Thanks. And that was the thing you just said with the family. That's one of the big things that I, because the chancel choir is it's kind of like the immediate family, and then we have our extended family, and it really is, they have been a family for a very long time. And honestly, some of the people that are singing in choir today were there when I started back, 30 plus years ago. They're just a group of dedicated people, and they love each other and they take care of each other. And that's just been really a blessing to be a part of and to watch. We've gone through, members that have had cancer and people with major surgeries and just life things. And there's always somebody there to step up and bring a meal and send a card and do all those really awesome things for each other. So they take care of each other. Great bunch of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's really, really beautiful. And so tell us a little bit about kind of life in the pandemic for you. Like how have you navigated things both home and at the well?
Well, as for everybody, it's been an interesting experience. I would say that my husband and I have been really fortunate to, we both retired from our full-time teaching. So we were already in our own little pandemic, so to speak, and just not having to go to work, not having to worry about those sorts of things. And that made that part of life a lot easier. Definitely difficult to be more distanced from family and grandkids and all of that stuff during some of the most difficult times. And we've had family members with COVID that we've had to deal with and take care of and all of those sorts of things. But in general, really, we've been very fortunate. Of course, as far as my job at the well goes, things changed drastically. And we went from being a choir that could sing and worship together every week to being choir members that are sitting at home wishing they could be a part of something, and that kind of grieving process that you go through, because making music is such a big part of all of our lives. And so that was difficult. But for me, it was really fun to do things to try to just let people know that we were still there and that we care. And, some of the first things we did, I think May Day of last year, I made May Day baskets for all the choir members and delivered on their doorsteps, and we couldn't hug or do anything, but we could just wave, and that was really fun. And then at Christmas time, my husband, Steve, and I don't know if you heard this story, I made the hot chocolate bombs and delivered those to all the choir members, and we opened up the doors on our vehicle and boomed the stereo, and Steve played trumpet in their driveway, and we played Frosty the Snowman and different songs, and just kind of went around and did deliveries at Christmas time. And it was just really fun to be able to say hello from a distance and let them know that, I was still caring for them. And that, was bigger blessing to me probably than it was for any of them. So it was really fun to do. And in addition to that, just as far as church goes, it just became a challenge in some ways, just because instead of everybody in the congregation who's used to seeing the backside of me while I direct the choir, I was much more front and present and singing and on camera. And that was totally not comfortable in the beginning, but I honestly learned to just love it and enjoy it and make the best of it. So
awesome. Yeah. And you guys have done so much. This is our favorite pandemic word, pivoting, and figuring it out and overcoming obstacles and working with the tech team to figure out how to make it sound better and better and better and better. And it's been a work in progress, but you guys have just been so patient and done such a great job. And the team of people that you've had come in and join the choir, the 6 at a time, working with you and Cheryl has just been really great. And it's been fun to see the camaraderie, and it's fun to now see that the congregation can join you. And that's been a really neat thing for us in this last week. And we're looking forward to so much more over the summer as we look forward to the fall. So Natalie, we're moving through this pandemic. We're starting to have people get vaccinated, and masks are coming off in certain areas and locations, even in certain sections of the church. And so what are you looking forward to now that we are kind of heading in this direction in the midst of this pandemic?
Well, Laura and you in the sermon touched on that a little bit, and just the whole thing about being able to sing and worship together is an amazing thing. And not only does it put our bodies in sync and our mind in sync, but for me, it's that kind of direct connection. It's that line to God. I feel like every piece of music is filled with scripture, it's filled with praise, it's filled with hope and all of those kinds of things. And there's so much there that for me, it's almost an easier and better way to say what I want to say through music to God, in not to take the place of prayer, but certainly just as powerful as. And I think that's really, really a great thing that we can do together in worship. And of course, just the other things outside of church is being able to be with family, be able to travel, possibly, hopefully more, and all of those things that life will allow now. But with also just, I think just with greater appreciation and just understanding and learning where we've come from and how fortunate we really are.
Yeah, I think that's a really beautiful type of learning that hopefully we take with us, right? I mean, I think that's the big question is, are we going to take with us some of these lessons that we've had to learn in the pandemic? Mm-hmm. Will we really let them sink in and shape who we are, and appreciate those small things, appreciate the ability to travel, to see family, to give a hug? I had a coffee with a friend who we connect every once in a while, and we both have been vaccinated and 2 weeks out from that. And so she's like, can we finally just give each other a hug? And it was, just nice to see a friend and kind of get back into a healthier rhythm again. And so, Natalie, we know that your time as our worship arts director has come to a close. Last Sunday was your last Sunday as our worship arts director. You're stepping away to care for your father and to kind of step into this new phase of your life. Is there anything that you would like to share with the Well, or any hopes that you have for the future of the Well, which we know that you are not going far? You will still be a part of us. We hope and expect that because we love you guys. And so just kind of, what are some maybe thoughts that you have as you reflect on your time and kind of the future of where things are going?
Well, it's difficult, like I said, I've been a part of this for 30 some years, but I also, and I'm sure you've experienced this too. I personally am just looking forward to being able to not have the responsibility or the for me, sometimes you're in worship, but you're not in worship because you're thinking about, oh, well, I should have done that, or maybe this would have been better, or that could have been, and you're always kind of critiquing everything that's going on. And so I'm looking forward to being able to actually be in worship and volunteer my time, like you said, find ways to volunteer. I've always wanted to and haven't been able to do it yet, but I always said when I retired that I was going to try to volunteer in a neonatal unit somewhere. And so I'd like to find out, now that the pandemic is slowing down, if that's a possibility somewhere, and maybe start volunteering there. I've been enjoying my, it's only monthly, so it's not a big commitment, but we've been sharing that with Don Dibley and LB Frisbee, playing for a worship service at the Rosemont, which has a number of our seniors there. And so they are so happy to see us each week when we come, and that's really fun. And I'm actually doing that this afternoon. So finding more opportunities like that in the church and outside the church to be able to serve and just develop my own faith and, decide where I'm going from there. And of course, as you mentioned, the next several years being more available for my family as they need me. So.
Oh, that's really beautiful. And I love that you have so many different irons that you want to get in fires. That's really, really cool. I'm excited to see which ones you're able to do and which ones really sink in for you and you attach to. And that's going to be really fun to see what's next. And I really hope that you're able to enjoy it and embrace it and navigate through it with kind of that grace that you navigate everything. So Natalie, thank you so much for all of your service, all of your time and commitment, and the hours and hours and the relationships that you've spent. It's just been a true gift to the Well and to the community of Rosemont and to the church. So thank you for everything. We look forward to what's next for you. We celebrate it and we embrace it, and we're so grateful that we'll get to be along for the journey. So Thanks again for everything.
Thank you. And just one more thing I want to say is that I should have said is that I know the well is going to thrive because the well is in great hands and has great people. And many people that I said before are so talented. And I just know that that as we're able to come back, you guys are going to flourish, and I'll just enjoy watching it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Humble as ever, gracious as ever, and we are just so thankful for you. So thanks for joining us on Virtual Voices, Natalie.
Thank you.